Welcome back. Invest Info, episode 35. This week I want to speak about market manipulation. Um, which market manipulation pretty much is let's read it here. Market manipulation, understanding this dangerous phenomenon. It says market abuse and by the way, I'm reading from Works, VinciWorks.com. Okay. Market abuse refers to a process in which individuals and or firms aim to decrease market integrity and reduce investors' protections. And, rela- and related to market abuse is market manipulation. In 2016, the Market Abuse Regulation (MAR), which contains prohibition, prohibitions on market manipulation and other market abuse, came into effect. You can find out about this in the introduction of VinciWorks Market Abuse course. All right, so what is market manipulation? It says market manipulation occurs when an individual act in ways that prevent the market from operating in a free and open manner. Right. Now, the reason I want to say this is if you've gotten into the investing, whether in the stock market or real estate or some sort of invest in gold, silver, you'll realize that this market is just, buyer and seller, right? Where trades happen, can be manipulated by outside forces. Take, for example, the energy sector, right? Just last year, when you went to the pump to get gas was extremely cheap. Why? Because the situation with COVID caused the markets to be manipulated to where future contracts on crude oil was -7. And as the price of crude slowly goes back up, these future contracts, because remember, oil can't be -$7, right? Um, it was a good time to really buy oil, but the markets were saying it's scary, don't mess with energy, EV is the future, and fast forward a year later, we see that oil is going back up, and a lot of EV stocks plummeted 60%. A lot of the market was plummeted 60%, due to bond yields, and it's one of those things that come with investing. Waking up, seeing your portfolio down a dramatic amount. And what they do to manipulate this is, I'll give you an example. You're in a position, the position might fall. You wake up, this is happening, pre-market, after hours, and depending on your brokerage, you might not be able to trade in the pre-market and after hours, right? And we know that stocks are liquid, so just like that, you could fall 20 to 30% overnight. And then you're like, you know what? I don't want to sell out this position. I'm just gonna wait until it returns to its value. Then the next day falls another 20, 15%. Now you're down 45%, 50%, 60% in a week, and it's not easy to deal with sometimes. But we understand that manipulation does happen in whatever markets you're in. You might have bought gold at the top. You might have bought gold at 2000. It went down. Um, if you bought cryptocurrencies at the bottom, well, it's like that. It's like that. Markets, any type of market, whether it's the real estate market. Oh, another example of manipulation in real estate. Violence in certain neighborhoods could cause property assets to go down in value. So it drives down, it goes down, it goes down. Then they start to put cops in the neighborhood. They start to clean up the neighborhood. And by the way, when these neighborhoods pretty much go south, that's when people buy them. When nobody really wants the area, because your area code, your zip code, could really determine the price of the real estate. So violence could bring down the price of the real estate. That's when you buy. Then cops come in and you clean up the neighborhood, and then you rocket the sales back up. So that's an example of market manipulation, and this is going to happen in anything you invest in, whether it's real estate, gold, silver, crypto, stocks. Be open to the idea that you could buy something and the price of it could be manipulated in a short amount of time. This is why, as Charlie Munger says, we have to buy things deeply undervalued to protect us from the vicissitudes of life. Meaning, you purchase something, make sure it's on a huge sale. That way, if something crazy happens and they have to liquidate, you don't lose your money. All right, so market manipulation occurs when individuals act in ways that prevent the market from operating in a free and open manner. This can involve providing false information about the supply demand price of financial instruments that inhibit or detract individuals from engaging in market transactions. And we saw a glimpse of that with what they call meme stocks, right? This whole situation with Robinhood and the investor wanting to buy, but Robinhood felt like these clearinghouses didn't have the insurance just in case the shorts couldn't cover their position, and a lot of people were not forced to sell, but only had the option to sell. So that's a form of market manipulation. The most recent, most famous example I could give was the GameStop situation. So too, market manipulation involves entering into transactions that can affect the price of a financial instrument, right? Now, the ultimate hedge against market manipulation is just to have a long-term uh, uh, outlook when you put your money into an investment, right? So, prime example, you look at a stock. I'll name one, Fang, FANG, Diamondback Energy. It was a stock that was trading at 115 last year. It fell to about $15. Now the stock has rocketed back up to about 90. All right, but for no apparent reason, other than the COVID. What does COVID have to do with an oil company in Texas? It fell. So our job, if you're able to, is to spot undervalued things in a situation where markets have manipulated the price of that asset. Um, right now, gold has been underperforming for the past year. Right, it's only been up about year to date about 19 to about 19% maybe. While stocks, real estate, crypto has been rocking it out of gold. So does that mean don't buy gold and silver? Of course not. This is when you say, wait a minute, this constant printing. I know that Bitcoin is the new wave, but let me have a store of asset value. So, I mean, that's one example. All right. Companies are my favorite personally, stocks, but stocks again are just pieces of businesses. So as inflation goes up, right, these corporations are able to increase their prices. That's how come you're going to see asset inflation in stocks and real estate. Um, Mentally prepare yourself for market manipulation if you enter a position and you wake up and for some strange reason it falls drastically. Just don't be surprised at something like that. So that's the advice that I'll give. Think when you get into position long term. So if it falls back, you're not worried about it. Mentally prepare yourself. And last but not least, always do your homework. Okay, always do your homework before you decide to put any money. It's in sort of investment because market manipulation is in all markets. All right, see you guys in the next one.